Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Walkthrough Radio Show with Kevin Walker and Jason Collins, right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about today, guys. We're going to pretty much talk about every sport under the sun. We got some NFL, we got track and field, we might even do a little Yankees talk. We got it all for you today. K-Walk, what's going on, man?
All is well, all is well. Trying to stay cool in this weltering heat, if you will, but looking forward to a great one.
I'm telling you, man, this heat is just crazy, man. And I don't know if it's always been this hot. Maybe we just don't remember, but it just feels like it's getting hotter and hotter every single year, man. But it's been crazy. But okay, well, let's start with track and field, man. I kind of mentioned this to you the other night on the shoot around about SydneyMcLaughlin getting ready to run the 400-meter hurdles. We thought it was going to be a great race between her and Dalilah Muhammad. Didn't turn out that way, man. She set that track on fire, sets a new world record. What were your thoughts, man, as you watched that unfold?
You know what, Jay, when she first got out, I mean, that backstretch, just when she first started off on that backstretch, she just left no doubt about who was going to win who was going to win that particular match. I mean, good gracious, Jay, the lead that she created, you know, coming around that corner, it was just all about whether she's going to beat her, you know, her world record or not. It wasn't even fair, Jay. It was a no doubter. For sure. Young, 22 years old, and she's just breaking record after record after record after record, Jay. So I think we're still going to see a lot from her. But yeah, I really thought that it was going to be a closer one. Maybe she felt like, you know, she said that she felt like she could run faster. And I guess all the hype surrounded it. So she said, listen, I'm not listening to the hype. I'm going to show y'all guys. So she did a great job of doing that for sure.
Yeah, man, she was phenomenal. And like you said, at just 22 years old, I mean, you could argue that she hasn't even hit her prime yet or her peak years in track and field, man. So I can't wait to see what's coming next from her. I don't know if you saw it, K-Walk, but last night, the women's 4x1 team, they won gold. Yes. They beat Jamaica. Ooh. The men come up short, losing to Canada. Yeah. If you saw that, man, what were your thoughts on those two races?
Well, those two races obviously were determined by the lack of exchange. I mean, the fumbling with, you know, as far as the women go, the U.S. was able to take advantage of Jamaica's, you know, ability or non-ability to pass the baton. You know, it's so funny, Jay, because I reached out to Coach Cunningham, our track coach in high school, and you know, I reached out to him and said, Coach, I'm thinking about you. You know, and he said, listen, you guys were smooth as glass, to use his term. You know, with using that baton, and that makes a big difference. And that made a big difference, Jay, in both, you know, in the women's upsetting the Jamaican women's team 4x4, and that made the difference between the U.S. Being upset by Canada. So it's all about those exchanges. Those exchanges, you may not think it's crucial, but it is crucial. It makes a huge difference. But it seems like that's something that's been going on with the USA men's and the Jamaican women's team too. In the past, they've had trouble with baton exchanges, Jay. So it just, I guess, you know, that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know, but both teams, being the Canada and USA, took advantage of it nonetheless.
Yeah, no, man, you're 100% right. Like, the exchange can cost you the race, because I mean, we saw how well the Jamaican women did, like in the 100-meter and the 200-meter. So we know they have fast runners. But you're right, man. Their exchanges were just not on point, and it ended up costing them. But you got to give the U.S. a lot of credit, man. They ran a heck of a race. And they put it together well. I was a little disappointed in the men not being able to close it out, man. But again, the exchanges down the stretch hurt them as well, man. But the World Championships overall have just been really exciting, man. That's been something fun to kind of keep an eye on while we're waiting for football season to get cranked up here. But speaking of football season, man, let's get into another round of Somebody's Got to Go. I got 4 names for you, K-Walk. You've got to eliminate somebody, which is tough because we like to put some really great players in here. I'm going to start you off with the one that I think is maybe the easiest in the group. I got defensive backs here, corners, K-Walk. So I got primetime Deion Sanders. I got Darrell Revis, so put you on Revis Island. I got the great Darryl Green that a lot of people forget about. And then also Rod Woodson, K-Walk. So Prime, Revis, Darryl Green, Rod Woodson. Somebody's got to go, K-Walk. What you say?
Well, if you listen to my top 10 defense, my top all defense of all time, that Woodson and Dion are automatically in. They're my starting corners. So they're in. Now that leaves obviously Revis and Green. Oh my goodness, man. Green had tremendous speed, man. I mean, he can track down anybody. He could run with anyone. I don't know about a cover corner. I think it was more speed, but Revis Island, it was called Revis Island for a reason. So I'm gonna sorry, D Green. I'm gonna have to get get D Green up out of here. I'm sorry, D Green. You're a heck of a ball player, man. Fast as all as outside, man. But I had to let one go. So I mean, you gotta go. I'm sorry. Green. Darryl.
Oh, that's tough, man. Yeah, this is tough, man. I've been looking at this for about an hour and I still don't know who to put out. Dion is locked in for me, obviously. I don't know, K-Walk. I still haven't made a decision. I think I'm gonna let Revis go, man. I don't know why. I know he was great. I know he was fantastic. I don't even have a reason, but I think I'm gonna let Revis go here, man. All right, next one, man. I did this one just for you. This is 49ers. 49ers, man. Somebody's got to go, K-Walk. I got the great Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Ronnie Lott. Somebody's got to go, K-Walk. Who you kicking out of the 49er club?
Hey, man, listen, it's hard for me because I don't want to kick any 49er out, but it's easy for me at the same time, Jay. And what I mean by that, it's Steve Young's got to go, man. Steve Young's got to go. I know, he won that Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl that the 49ers won. Probably I put them in, my top 3 greatest offenses of all time. Tough to say he's got to go. But Jerry Rice, in my opinion, is the greatest football player to ever play the game. Yeah, I'll put him up there with Tom Brady. I'll put him up there with that. Joe Montana, he was just smooth, man. Cool Joe. And Ronnie Lott is, I have him on my starting defense of all time. So I gotta keep him there for sure. Oh, my bad, Steve Young. I love you, brother, but you got to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, man, I agree with you, right? I mean, there's really no need to have 2 quarterbacks on this. Right. So you got to pick one. You got to take Montana. It's tough, man, but I would agree. I would have to put Steve Young out as well. All right, let's do some running backs, man. I don't know if this one's going to be too tough, but we'll see where you go with it. I got Walter Payton. Who people love, man. I posted one of our videos on TikTok choosing between Barry and Emmett, and a bunch of people were in the comments talking about Walter Payton. I was like, look, he wasn't even in the discussion. You know what I mean? But people love Walter Payton, man. So I got Payton, I got Barry Sanders, I got Emmett Smith, and I got Eric Dickerson. Where are you going on this one, K-Walk? Somebody's got to go. Peyton, Barry, Emmett, Dickerson.
All right, I want you to put this on your TikTok, man, and see what these people, the comments. I don't say these people, but the comments say about this. But I'm gonna say Emmett's got to go to me. Emmett's got to go for me because of the fact of the matter is Emmett was a really good running back. I'm not going to call him a great running back, but I do say he's a really good running back who had the opportunity to run behind arguably one of the greatest offensive lines in the history of the game. So I know we have went back and forth with this a couple of times and said, what if you put Barry Sanders behind that offensive line, or even a Walter Payton in this matter, or Eric Dickerson? I think those guys were pure running backs. So with that being said, I'm going to say Emmitt Smith got to go.
You know what, man? I agree 100%. I'm not getting rid of Barry. I'm not getting rid of Payton. So to me, it comes down to Emmett and Dickerson. And I agree with you, man. Not saying that Emmett wasn't a really good running back, because he was. Right. I mean, he did a lot. Emmett was an excellent runner, but like you said, I do think he benefited more from being on a really good team and having a great offensive line. If you take Eric Dickerson or Barry or Peyton and put them in the same situation, I think you get even more results out of it. So I'm with you, man. Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate Emmitt Smith from this group. All right, man, let's do quarterbacks here. Quarterbacks, past and present. Joe Montana, who for decades, everyone said this is the GOAT until Brady just kept winning and winning and winning. So Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, who I believe you have as the best QB in the business right now, and then Peyton Manning, who for some reason hasn't really been a part of a lot of these quarterback discussions lately. So Montana, Brady, Rodgers, Manning, somebody's got to go.
All right, man. Oh, man, this is a tough one too, but got to stay consistent, ladies and gentlemen. Got to stay consistent. And based on my all-time top 10 NFL quarterback list, I have Brady at 1, I have Montana at 2, I have Peyton Manning at 3, and Aaron Rodgers at 4. Ooh, so with that being said, that eliminates Aaron Rodgers. Tough list, Jay, but I have to stay consistent, because if I don't, I'm going to be called out on it. So I'm going to say, based on my list and the question, Aaron Rodgers got to go. Tough call, though, Jay. It may make me change my top 10 now, Jay, this particular question.
No, you're right. It's tough, man. I feel like Brady and Montana are untouchable in this one. So you got to look at Manning and Rodgers. It's tough, but I think I agree with you, man. I would have to eliminate Rodgers as well. I know Peyton didn't have the postseason success that a lot of people would have hoped, but he does have, he has 2 Super Bowls, right? I believe he's got
Peyton
2.
Manning has 2.
He's got 2.
Peyton has
he's
2.
got 2. A-Rod's got 1. I mean, I'm going to give the slight edge to Peyton, even though I think Aaron is probably, or not probably, is more talented. I'm going to eliminate Rodgers, man, but that's a tough one. All right, last one, K-Walk, all defensive players. The great Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, the Minister of Defense. Ray Lewis, not trying to get you to have a flashback, K-Walk, but I have to put Ray Lewis on the list. And then prime time, Deion Sanders. Somebody's got to go. LT, Reggie White, Ray Lewis, and prime. Somebody's got to go.
Jay, this is the toughest one of all time. Oh my goodness. How do I eliminate anyone from this list, Jay? All right, so I got an offensive lineman. I go with 3-4. So I'm keeping LT. Oh man, all right, you know what? It's just tough, but I gotta do it. Ray, man, it's nothing against you, nothing against that hit, man. I'm over it. Trust me. But based off of this question, man, and someone has got to go, I'm going to eliminate. I'm going to say Ray Lewis has got to go, man. And that's a tough one, because I have him on my all-time. I have all 4 of these guys on my all-time defensive team. But yeah, Ray Lewis got to go, and I'm rubbing my chest for those who are listening on radio.
For those that don't know, K-Walk and Ray Lewis came across each other a few times in college, and K-Walk still feels some of those hits that Ray put on him. But I agree with you, K-Walk. You can't eliminate Lawrence Taylor. You can't eliminate Reggie White. I'm not getting rid of Deion. So to me, Ray Lewis is the odd man out here, man. In this scenario, Ray Lewis absolutely has to go. All right, good stuff there, K-Walk. Man, let's grab a quick break. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, K-Walk's going to tell you the best player at all the skill positions on offense in the NFL for this upcoming season. So he's going to let you know who's going to be the best at every position. And then we're going to talk about those Yankees a little bit, because I'm wondering if they're starting to slow down. And I want to see what K-Walk has to say about that. We'll do that right after the break. You're listening to The Walkthrough with Kevin Walker and Jason Collins right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Walkthrough with Kevin Walker and Jason Collins right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. All right, K-Walk, let's get into some current stuff now, man. We know this NFL season is coming. We'll probably have some preseason games, not too long, man. Maybe just a couple weeks, and we'll start getting some preseason action. I know some training camps are starting to get going.
Yes,
so
sir.
let's talk about who's going to be the best at every position once this thing kicks off. And let's start at the quarterback position, man. There's a lot of great ones out there. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. I'm a big Russell Wilson guy. The top 10 list came out not too long ago. But what say you, K-Walk? Who's going to be the best quarterback in this 2022-2023 season?
Something's telling me, Jay, that even though that he lost Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders, I think the young kid that he has, I think that it allows him to be more open to spreading the ball around. He doesn't have to focus. I know you need that go-to guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say the loss of Devontae Adams is going to help him, but I think it's going to allow him to spread the ball around. And again, I love the young kid from North Dakota State, Christian Watson, and I think it's going to help Aaron Rodgers. If you didn't know who I was going with by now, but I think Aaron Rodgers will still be that guy. With Patrick Mahomes a close second. So I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers here. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. I don't know how far he'll take this team. He'll lead them to the playoffs. I think we might see another NFC championship in the works. We'll see how that goes. A lot of teams have improved in the NFC, but I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers. I got confidence in that bad man, as Stephen A. calls.
Yeah, man, it's not a bad pick. I'm interested to see if Mahomes is going to have a little bit of a step back. Losing the cheetah. Is he gonna? This will be a chance to really see a picture of Mahomes without having obviously that's a big loss for them offensively.
Indeed.
So let's see what he can do. But I think I agree with you, man. I think I would go with Rodgers as well. Let's go to the running back position. I know it's not super popular anymore in today's NFL, underutilized position, but there's still some good ones in the league. But who do you have as your best running back for this upcoming season?
Yeah, this was kind of tough because everything you alluded to is like, it seems like the running back position is becoming obsolete and you don't hear too much about them, or the shelf life is only, 26 to 28 years old before you start to see them taper off. But with all that being said, I wanted to take Alvin Kamara here because he's one of those guys that I love out of the backfield. He's a dual threat, but we don't know what that suspension is going to be. So we're still waiting to hear on that. I think the decision comes out on August 1st. But second guy, I like Jonathan Taylor. I like Jonathan Taylor from the Colts. I think he's a very durable back. He's very productive. He's not great out of the backfield, but he's serviceable out of the backfield. But his running game behind that line is really good, and I think it's going to help Matt Ryan this season as well. So I'm going to stay with Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor on this.
No, that's a great call because like you think about some of the other big name guys, like maybe a Saquon Barkley, but you just don't know if he's going to be healthy. Zeke Elliott. I'm not sure what we're going to get out of Zeke. Everyone's saying he's in great shape, but I don't know. I think Taylor's a great pick just for consistency's sake. You feel like he's going to be out there and you feel like what he's going to give you. So I love that call, K-Walk. What about the tight end position, man? There's some good tight ends in this league, man. You got one in San Francisco.
Yeah.
We know the Chiefs have Travis Kelce. The kid out in Oakland or Las Vegas, actually. He's really good.
Yeah.
Who's your best tight end for this upcoming season, K-Walk?
Yeah, I'm going to sound biased here, but I am going to go with George Kittle. I'm from the San Francisco 49ers. I just really believe that he's the best overall tight end in the game. I mean, I'm just not talking about receiving or route running, hands. I'm talking about his ability in the run game as well. He does a great job of blocking, helping his guard, helping his tackle, or what have you, depending on the situation. But you did mention a couple of guys. You got Mark Edwards out of Baltimore. I think he's going to be really good. Obviously, Travis Kelce from Kansas City, and then you mentioned Darren Waller as well from the Raiders. So, but that's going to be an interesting tight end class for sure. But I do like out of all those guys I mentioned, I still like George Kittle for sure.
Yeah, and I've said this before. The thing I love about Kittle is, to me, his ability to run after the catch. I love when he has the ball in his hands and has a little bit of space to work, because he's trying to score. So I love that about Kittle, man. That's a great call. All right, let's go to the receivers, man, and we'll make this as specific as we can. So we're going to do the X receiver first. And K-Walk, you can explain to the listeners what an X is for those that don't know. But who's going to be your best X receiver this upcoming season?
Sure. So now for our listeners who don't know exactly what an X receiver is, an X receiver is the receiver who lines out wide. He's usually away from the tight end, and he's the fastest receiver that you have on the field. So there's a guy that you can go downfield, or you can go deep with, and he's actually great after the catch as well. He could take a short pass and take it to the house as well. But he's mostly the fastest receiver on the team that you go with. So with that being said, I'm going to go DK Metcalf from the Seattle Seahawks. I just think that he has tremendous speed. Or we seen what he did when he walked down. I think it was Buda Baker last year. When an interception. He just tremendous speed. You see him that he just a separation. I mean, he's strong too. Don't get me wrong. Got the size, but I think he's the fastest receiver in the league. A reason why I'm taking him as the fastest receiver in this position, because of his height as well. I know you could probably put Tyreek Hill there, but I just think Tyreek's too short to be at next for sure. So DK Metcalf.
Yeah, that's a good call, man. You're right. His ability to stretch the field, make big plays. I'm wondering who's going to throw the ball to him, though. Do we know who's going to be the quarterback in Seattle yet?
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's going to be the interesting one, because depending on who throws the ball to him, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of numbers he can put up. It might end up being Jimmy Garoppolo, man. We'll see what happens as these next few weeks play out. So that's going to be interesting. All right, let's jump to the other side. Who you got as your Z receiver?
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, Z receiver is the opposite of that. He's the guy not as fast. Lines up against next to the tight end on the tight end side. He's mostly I don't want to say a possession receiver, but he gives you those possessions. You don't look for him to go downfield as much. And with that being said, you just look for him to make big time catches and and just body people out. And that's, with that being said, I'm gonna go Devontae Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders, excuse me, for sure. So yes, I'm going Devontae. Man, I still think Devontae is the best in the game overall, Jay.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a great year, man. I really do. I think that's going to be a nice change of pace for him. That's going to be an opportunity. Him and Carr together. I think he's going to have a great year. That's a good call. All right, let's go to the slot.
And you also mentioned Waller as well. Excuse me. He's going to be lined up next to Waller. So that the other tight end, the tight end that we talked about earlier. So it's going to open up a lot of different things for him as well. And Derek Carr is a really good quarterback as well.
Yeah, you're right, man. Because it'll be hard to double Devontae, and because Waller, he's tough if you're trying to single cover him with a linebacker or even a safety. That's tough. So that's definitely going to create a lot of matchup problems for people. Let's go in the slot, man. The smaller, I guess I'll say, quicker guys. Who you got in the slot, man, for this upcoming season?
Yeah, Jay, this was a coin flip between Tyreek and the guy that I went with, man. I went with Cooper Kupp, man. I went with Cooper Kupp. As much as I don't like him beating the 49ers or killing the 49ers, but I think he is really a great route runner. He's always seems to get open. He always finds that open spot. He's not as fast as Tyreek, but he's got some decent speed with him. And he's got, to see the season that he had and the over 100 catches last year in that offense. So I went with Cooper Kupp slightly over Tyreek Hill. I just think I'm not sure what Tyreek's going to give you in Miami, with Tua there. I know you could say the same thing about DK if we go back a little bit, but I still think overall he's the better slot guy. Has he had the quarterback throwing him the ball, and Matt Stafford is that guy, and I just don't know what we're going to get from Tua yet. So based off of that, I'm going to go with Kupp.
Yeah, man, I'm not mad at it. You know, Cup's going to catch 100 balls for you. You know, he's going to be consistent, a great route runner, can make some big plays as well. Like, I think a lot of people think, oh, he's just a possession guy, but he can make a big play for you as well. Obviously not to the level that Tyreek Hill does, but I'm not mad at it at all. It'll be interesting. You're right, K-Walk, to see how Tyreek looks with Tua, right? Getting away from Mahomes. Can he still put together that same level of success on a different team with a different quarterback? So that's going to be interesting to watch. All right, good stuff there, K-Walk. We got a couple minutes here. Let's talk about your Yankees a little bit. I've been trying to pay a little bit more attention to it, K-Walk. They came out of the gate like gangbusters. They're 10-10 over their last 20. Are they starting to slow down a little bit, K-Walk?
Well, I think if you look at from the record standpoint, definitely. But I think what happens is at one point, I think they were, I think by the end of about mid-season, if they would have went one game over 500, they still would win 100 games. So, you know, they built themselves. They started off so great that they built themselves a lead where, you know, they if they do taper off, which it looks like they're doing, they can afford to do that right now. Now, you don't want to do it too often right now, but 10-10 is not bad, and you still hold a 12-game lead over the nearest team in the AL East, and also you still hold the home field advantage in the American Conference there. You know, I know Houston is playing really good as well. I think they're a game and a half, maybe 2 games behind the Yankees. But right now, I think the Yankees you're going to start to see a lot of moves being made by the Yankees because some of these guys like Joey Gallo, his offense is kind of tapering off. Well, actually, it did taper off. It just hasn't shown up at all this season. So they're looking to possibly bring in Juan Soto from the Nationals. They're also looking to possibly go after Benintendi from the Royals. They just lost one of their key relievers, and Michael King fractured his elbow. So, you know, they're bringing guys in now. So you're going to see Yankees making a lot of moves. Am I concerned, Jay? Not as of yet. If it gets down under 9, if the league gets down under 9, then I'm going to start to look at that panic button just a little bit, Jay, especially if they're continuing to play like under 500 balls. So, yeah, right now I'm not too concerned because of the lead that they have, but that may change because it's hard to predict baseball, Jay. But right now I'm not pushing that panic button just yet.
Yeah, and that's right. I mean, with the amount of games they play, it is like 182 games, something like that. 162. Like, you gotta expect at some point that they're gonna have a little bit of a lull just because the season is so stinking long. But let me ask you this real quick, because I saw somebody on TV, I don't even remember what I was watching, but they were saying that they thought the Yankees were relying a little bit too much on just hitting and overpowering people from an offensive standpoint, and that they were a little bit concerned about the Yankees bullpen. I have no idea, but what say you, K-Walk?
Well, as far as the bullpen goes, that was, and the home runs, that was how they got their fast start. That's how they got the lead, because their bullpen was holding the lead for the starters, and the Yankees were hitting the ball out. Now, were the Yankees relying on that? No, they weren't relying on it, because if you look at it as well, the Yankees do have over 60 stolen bases. So they do a lot of hit and runs as well. So, but what's just happening is you're just seeing guys they're hitting the ball. They're not relying on it. It's just happening. You know, with Judge over 30 home runs, you got Stanton over 20 home runs, you got Rizzo over 21 home runs, or 20 home runs. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's just happening, Jay. But they're not relying on it. Trust me, they're not relying on it, because they can hit and run. They do have guys in the bottom on that lineup that can get on base, bunch your overs, like they're saying is get them on, get them over, get them in. And the Yankees do have the ability to do that. As far as the bullpen, they are getting hurt right now, and I think that's where we're going to start to see some moves being made by Brian Cashman and those guys to get some quality relievers in here for sure.
All right, good stuff, K-Walk. So we don't need to push the panic button yet on the Yankees, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's grab a break. When we come back, K-Walk's going to drive the bus the rest of the way. You're listening to The Walkthrough with Kevin Walker and Jason Collins right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Walkthrough Radio Show. with myself, Kevin Walker, alongside Jason Collins, right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. Before the break, Jay gave us some good stuff there while we were talking track and field, talking NFL, gave our who has to go segment. Love that, by the way, Jay, and also talking some Yankees as well, and gave our top positions on the offensive side. So another great one there, Jay. Jay, I want to talk about the NIL, man. I know we continue to talk about this, but some new news just came out recently in the last 2 weeks by two guys that I feel like they're notable guys for sure. Brian Kelly, who just went to LSU, and also Lane Kiffin, who's at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin's always got something to say, but as far as regarding the NIL, Brian Kelly's come out and say, listen, I'm not looking forward to getting into a bidding war, with these other teams or these other programs. I'm not looking to do that. I'm just strictly looking to, focus on running the program and player development, to use his words. What say you about this? I mean, is Brian Kelly, is he just making this up, like he made his country accent up at his press conference? What say you about Brian Kelly?
The thing is with what Brian Kelly said, K-Walk, is that it sounds good. Like, you can say that all you want, but you're not going to win a bunch of recruits talking like that, because whether you like it or not, like whether you agree with it or disagree with it, the NIL is what it is today. And guys coming out of high school, I'm not saying that money's going to be 100% of their decision, but it's going to have a lot to do with it. So if you're not interested in being competitive and getting into a so-called bidding war, then you're probably going to lose out on a bunch of guys who that is important to. So look, I get it. It sounds good, but I just don't think in today's college football climate that that's a realistic approach to take. I think you have to be out there. I think you have to be talking about it, because it's important to the athletes. And we know in college football, recruiting is everything. Like, you're not winning without great players. And if great players are interested in what kind of NIL deal your university can put together, then as a head coach, you need to be interested in that. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of guys.
Yeah, for sure, Jay. And do you think, let's say that, he truly believes this, which I don't think he believes this. And from what you say, I don't think you believe it either. But do you think he's just relying on the LSU name, that conference there to get some of those big time recruits, as you mentioned in there, just based off of you believe he's not? Good.
Yeah, see, I don't believe it either, K-Walk. And if I would say if he's relying on the LSU name, I would say that's a mistake, because Georgia, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Texas, like, their name is just as good, if not better, and they're bringing the NIL to the table. So I think if you're just trying to rely on, come to LSU, we play great football here, great environment, all that, that's fine. But there's tons of places that can offer you that. So you got to have a little bit more. And look, man, I think college football, really, for the coaches, this is about control. Like, when we played college football, man, they had us. Like, we really didn't have we really couldn't do a whole lot. We had to walk the line because you wanted to play, and you had to do what they told you to do, and you had very few options. It's different now, and I think the coaches are feeling that they're losing the control, and I think that's what a lot of the resistance is about.
Yeah, for sure, Jay. And we had on one of our shows right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio with Princess Cooper and Coach David Duck Riley. They had a young man who's going through the recruiting process. He's going to be in the class of 23. So they put a scenario out there for him, like, listen, Coach Riley is a West Virginia guy, Princess is a Florida guy. So they asked them straight up, listen, who would you take? You got West Virginia, you got Florida. I don't know if they were on his top 5 or anything like that, but they put him head to head. His immediate response, Jay, was, what's the money like? What's the money like? And that's the guy in 2023, Jay. So we know where this is going. So my point is bringing that up is Brian Kelly. It's about the money, and you got to worry about outbidding these guys. It's a real thing, Jay. It's a real thing. Like you said, he's not being realistic if he believes that he doesn't have to outbid these other programs in order to be successful going forward. It's just not realistic, Brian Kelly. Just like that accent that you came up with your press conference, that's not real either. But Jay, staying on the NIL talk, we got another guy, as I mentioned, Lane Kiffin, excuse me. He came out and said that he thought there should be a salary cap for the NIL. One, I don't know how that can happen. And two, Jay, if it can happen, if you got a way that it can happen, do you see it happening?
I don't, because number one, again, I think this is about control. Like, because one of the coaches, I think it was Kirby Smart, coming out this week saying he didn't like that some guys were making $10,000 a month and some of the young guys were making more than some of the older guys. And it's just all about control. Lane Kiffin wants a salary cap so that he probably doesn't want his locker room where you got somebody making $1 million and somebody else only making 1,000, you know? So they want to control things, but the issue with the NIL is they just open the floodgates on it right from the jump.
Yeah.
It's gonna be almost impossible to go back and try to say, oh, now we're going to put restrictions on, now we're going to make a salary cap. Now you can only get so much. Because they open the floodgates. I don't know that there's going to be any going back on it at this point.
Yeah, Jay, I have to agree with you. I don't know how they would control that, regulate that, if you will. How they can determine that you can only make a certain amount, or your team or your program can only give up that. That doesn't make sense. But then again, it's Lane Kiffin, and I mean, I guess it's, for argument's sake, I guess it's a good topic to talk about. Me personally, when I first heard it, I just didn't know how that would possibly could be regulated, to be honest with you. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. It may down the road, somehow they may be able to regulate it, Jay, but as of right now, I don't see that. I don't see that particularly happening, Jay, for sure. But listen, Jay, let's,
you know what,
K-Wall? Go ahead, Jay.
I think, man, I just think these coaches and universities, they just have to get used to the fact that this is the new college football. Like, for years and years and years, this money's been flying around. I mean, Kirby Smart just signed a $112 million deal. Everyone was getting paid. Everyone was getting rich, except the guys out on the field. And I just think they got to get used to the fact that this is the new college football. The guys are going to be able to put a little bit of money in their pocket. And I don't know why they're even resisting something like that. That should be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes back down to, you losing big time recruits. I mean, you're losing big time recruits, not only to your rival, but, possibly like lower divisions or other divisions, like, the HBCUs. I don't want to call HBCU a low division by any stretch, but when you see some of these big time getting these 4-star, 5-star guys going to an HBCU because it had a lot to do with the NIL, then, a lot of these guys are going to get upset and say, listen, the NIL wasn't here, then, they would have never thought about going to, Jackson State or Tennessee State or whatever, or what have you, Morehouse or, or Grambling or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I can understand. I just think that, Jay, it's going to be something like you just said. They have to get used to it. And I think it's too early in the process and too early in the game for them to get used to it. So, but I think, once they get a grasp of it, how to work it, how to deal with it, how to maneuver it, then I think we'll probably hear less about how they dislike the NIL for sure. That's just my personal opinion, but I just think it's something we just got to get used to. It's something new. Wish we had this, like you said, Jay. Wish we had this back in the day. I don't know how much I would have made,
man.
I would have got a couple dollars. I know that much.
That's right.
But let's do this. Jay. Let's grab our next break here. When we come back, I want to talk about the NFL, and I want to talk about your Cowboys. I want to talk about the predictions, and we want to go down each schedule for the Cowboys and the 49ers. We don't have to elaborate, but I just want to just give you thoughts and opinions. Will this particular game be a win, loss, and then we'll tally it up and see where they're at as far as the record goes.
Okay, right, that would be fun.
All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuning in to the Walkthrough Radio Show with myself, Kevin Walker, alongside Jason Collins, right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Walkthrough Radio Show with myself, Kevin Walker, alongside Jason Collins, right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. Before the break, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking a little NIL. Got our thoughts and opinions on Brian Kelly's thoughts and opinions on the NIL, and Lane Kiffin as well. I want to switch gears here, and I want to talk the Cowboys and 49ers, since Jay's a Cowboy fan now. And if you don't know, I'm a 49er fan. I just want to run down their schedule, Jay, and I'll start with your Cowboys, and give me your thoughts and opinions on this, and just give me win loss. We'll tally it up. How many losses do you have for them? How many wins do you have for them? For sure. So this is be interesting. All right. So we got the first game of the season here. We got the Buccaneers going into AT&T Stadium there. Jay, first game of the season. We got the Bucs coming in, man. How do you have this one? How do you see this one playing out, Jay?
Man, I hate to say, even though it's at home, I hate to say it. I feel like this is going to be a loss for the Cowboys. So I'm going to give them a loss coming out of the gate.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what we're going to get from that. I'm still trusting Brady right now. It's the first game of the season. Had it been in the latter part, I might give it to the Cowboys because I don't know where Brady's going to be at. So I'm going to go there with you too, Jade. I'm going to give them a loss there. Next game, you got the defending AFC champions, excuse me, coming and it's going into there as well. You got the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals coming off of that Super Bowl appearance, Jay. Win or loss?
You know what, K-Walk? I'm going to say the Cowboys are going to steal this one. Listen, teams after losing the Super Bowl, maybe a little bit of Super Bowl hangover early for the Bengals. So I'm going to take the Cowboys with a win at home on this one.
I'm in agreement with you, Jay. I'm going to take the Cowboys over the Bengals as well. The next game, we have the third game of the season. We have the Cowboys going into MetLife Stadium against their division rivals, the New York Giants. I'm just marking this down right now. I think you already know where I'm going with this one, but what say you?
I got to give the Cowboys the W, man. I just don't know what the Giants are going to be. Give me the W for the Cowboys.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Next one, this might be just the same or just easier. I'm going to give. I just messed up there. Just one moment. All right. So we got the Washington Commanders going into the Cowboys Stadium, AT&T. I keep forgetting the name of their stadium. What do you have here? Cowboys win or lose?
I gotta take the Cowboys again, man. Pretty much for the same reasons. I'm just not sure what the Redskins are going to be. Give me the Cowboys.
All right. So the next one, we have the Cowboys going into SoFi Stadium against the Los Angeles Rams. You got a win or loss there.
That's an L.
For your Cowboys.
Mark it down. That's an L. Okay, well, they're going to lose that game.
All right. I gave him an L there too, man. I gave him an L there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss one. All right, the next one, Jay, we got the Cowboys going to another division rival. We're going into the Link against the Eagles. Primetime game, Sunday night game. Who do you have?
Man, these games are always heated. A big time NFC East game on the road. If I'm being 100, take my fandom out of it. I think that'll be a tough one on the road. I'm going to give them an L for this one, K-Walt.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Only reason why I gave them an L, Jay, just because you mentioned they're at home, and that Link could be kind of crazy. So I'm based off of that. I'm going to give them the win or the L on there. I'm sorry. All right, next one is the Lions going into the AT&T Stadium. Is that a win for your Cowboys or a loss?
Yeah, that's a W. They got to win that game. Yeah. That's a W.
For sure, man, for sure. Following week, they have another NFC North foe, if you will. They have the Chicago Bears going into it's also a home game for the Cowboys.
At home, I'm taking the Cowboys. At home.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I'm with you on that one as well. All right, next one we have the Cowboys going into another NFC. It's another NFC foe. They look like they got 4 straight NFC foes, NFC North foes here, and that's the Green Bay Packers. They're in Lambeau. So it's an afternoon game there. Got Lambeau.
Yeah, that's a loss, K-Walk. I don't see him winning at Lambeau.
All right. I have to agree with you there, man. As much as I don't like to say, they're going to lose, but the next one is we got the Cowboys going into Minnesota. Another NFC North foe.
That's going to be a good game, man.
Yes.
That's week 10. I'm going to give the slight edge to my Cowboys, K-Walk. I know that's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to give the Cowboys a slight edge on that one.
All right. I'm agreeing with you there as well, Jay. I think the Cowboys will pull it out. Just not sure what Kirk Cousins is going to give you there. Next one, you got the Giants again, but this time they're going into AT&T Stadium. I'm giving them the W here. I'm not even going to
mark it down.
But I'm
W.
All right, next one, right? Next one, we got the Indianapolis Colts. We talked about Jonathan Taylor, got Matt Ryan going into AT&T Stadium. So I'm marking mine down now. See if we agree on that one.
That's a tough one, but I think I'm actually going to take the Colts here, K-Walk. I'm going to take the Colts.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So I got a win there for the Cowboys, only because they're at home. It is a tough one, Jay. It is a tough one, but I got the Cowboys there. Next one, I think this might be one of the easiest ones on the schedule, and that's the Texans. You got the Texans going into AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, mark that one down. That's a W.
Yeah, for sure. Well, maybe next one may be the easiest one, Jay. I don't know, but they have the following week they go to Jacksonville and they play the Jaguars.
Yes, yeah, another W, man. My Cowboys are rolling, K-Walk.
All right. Next one we go back to the NFC East divisional foe. We got the Eagles. This time they're traveling into AT&T Stadium. Who do you have,
right? I gave the Eagles the edge at their home, so I'm giving the Cowboys the edge at home. Give me the Cowboys.
I'm right along with you there, brother, for that same exact reason. All right, the next one we got the Cowboys going to Tennessee and the Titans here, man. Amazon Prime Video game here.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Wow. I don't want to be too much of a homer. I'm gonna give this one to Tennessee.
All right. I gave the nod to the Cowboys there, man. I really did. Okay, and let me see here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. So the last one is I think we'll both be agreement with this. The Cowboys are going into Washington to face the Commanders. I'm pretty sure I know who you go with. But
give me the Cowboys on this one too, man. That's a game they have to win. Give me the Cowboys.
All right. So based on what I got here, Jay, 17-game season, I have the Cowboys going 13-4.
Woo!
13-4.
I had them going 11-6, but the first time I went through their schedule, I did have them at 13-4 as well. So I may have been not trying to be too much of a homer here, but K-Walk, if the Cowboys go 13-4, y'all are gonna have a lot to deal with on this network. Me, Princess, Manny, we're gonna be, man, it's gonna be hard to be around us if the Cowboys go 13-4.
You ain't lying about that, brother. You ain't lying about that. Oh my goodness. But I did it to myself. Maybe I did it, subconsciously just to prepare myself. Because you know what they say, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not saying I'm hoping y'all lose. Don't get me wrong. I don't do that because I'm not root for anybody to lose, man. I just root for the other team to win. How about that? Keep it positive. All right, we got a little bit of time here, Jay. Let's go to the 49ers real quick, see if we can get this in. The 49ers open up with the Chicago Bears. Who do you have here? Who do you have the 49ers? Do you have 49ers winning or losing this game?
I got to take the 49ers here, man. That's got to be a W.
Okay. All right, and I'm basing all of my information, all of my predictions off of what I think Trey Lance is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next game, they're going into their division rival. They're going into no, I'm sorry, excuse me. They're home against the Seattle Seahawks.
I still like San Francisco in this game, man. Even with a young Trey Lance, we don't even know who's going to be the quarterback in Seattle. Give me the 49ers.
Right. Yeah, I have to agree with you there based off of we just don't know who that quarterback is going to be for sure. So I'm going 49ers there as well. Next game, they go into Mile High, Jay, and they're going against that new revamped offense, that new looked offense with Russell Wilson. Does Russell Wilson hurt him again, Jay, or do you have the 49ers winning this game? Prime time as well.
I'm going to take the Broncos here, man. I'm going to go with the more experienced QB. Give me the Broncos.
Okay, I'm in agreement with you there, Jay. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I can't go 17-0. I have to be realistic here. so that could be an easy loss for us. All right, the next one is the Rams going to Levi Stadium against the 49ers. Another Monday night game. It's a Monday night game. Who do you have there? 49ers win this game or they lose this game?
So the 49ers have had the Rams number lately, if I remember correctly. But
yes.
I'm going to go with the more experienced quarterback here again, K-Walk.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Rams and give the 49ers another L.
Okay. All right. So I have the 49ers winning this game because everything you mentioned, Jay, you know, they tend to own them a little bit, but they're at home. So that's the only reason why I'm giving them the edge here. So I'll take the 49ers here in a close one. Next one we got, they got the 49ers going down to Carolina with the Panthers. Who do you have here?
Long trip, but give me the 49ers. I think they get this one done.
All right. Next one, we have game that I'm going to be in attendance for, God willing. 49ers going to Atlanta. How do you see this one playing out? 49ers win this?
Yeah, I like the 49ers here as well. I'm just not sure what the Falcons are going to be. Give me the 49ers.
All right, sounds good. All right, and this one is another tough one, man. We got another AFC West. We're at home, though. The 49ers are at home against Patrick Mahomes and those Chiefs. What do you have there?
I got to take the Chiefs here, man. Again, but by week 7, you would think the young QB was getting a little more comfortable, but I'm still going to take the Chiefs in a close one.
And I'm going to agree with you there, Jay. I just think that, you know, when you talk about these big time quarterbacks, you have to give the edge to them, whether they're on the road or not, especially with a second year quarterback in Trey Lance. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well. All right, next one, we got a rematch with the 49ers, and this time they're going to SoFi. Who do you have this one?
Man, these losses are stacking up a little bit, but I got to give them another L, K-Walk. I don't see how they're going to get that done on the road.
Okay. I'm going to give them the L here too, Jay, just because I gave them the win in the first one, kind of like the Cowboys and Eagles situation. So I'm treating that the same there. All right. So then next week they got the 49ers. The Chargers are coming into town, coming into Levi. So you got the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, give me the 49ers here. This will be a win. Give me the 49ers.
I agree there as well. All right, this is when it starts to get really interesting for me. Is we got the 49ers and another divisional rival. We got the Arizona Cardinals. They're going into Arizona. I think it's still in Tempe, but
man, that's tough, K-Walk. But you know what? I'm saying by week 10, that young QB, he's feeling good about himself. We can't forget about how good the 49ers defense is going to be.
Right.
I'm going to take the 49ers here.
Okay. All right. Now I took the Cardinals here, Jay, just because they're at home, you know, and I don't think the 49ers are going to sweep every team here in the division. Maybe the Seahawks, but we'll get to that. So I'm going to take the Cardinals only because they're at home. Okay. All right, we got East Scots. We got East Scots with our co-hosts on our network here. Saints going into the 49ers. Who do you have here?
I'm going to take the 49ers, man. I mean, I'm not sure about the Saints losing Sean Payton. I'm not sure. Give me the 49ers at home.
Yeah, I'm agree with you there as well, Jay. Don't know if Sean Payton is going. Don't know what the situation with Michael Thomas is going to be, or Alvin Kamara as well. He may be back from a suspension there. All right, next one is we got the 49ers at home against the Miami Dolphins.
This could be interesting, man, because if the Dolphins can put that offense together, they're going to be hard to deal with. But I'm going to stick with kind of the home field advantage, and I'm going to take the 49ers here.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one because it's kind of like Kyle Shanahan going against Kyle Shanahan Jr. because the offensive coordinator there is the now head coach there. So, and they got a bunch of guys that went there as well from the team. So that's going to be like the 49ers playing one another. But I'm taking the 49ers since they're at home. Now we got the Bucks coming into Levi the next week. Buccaneers, Cowboys. Buccaneers, 49ers, excuse me.
I actually like the 49ers here, man. I'm not sure if the Bucks are going to be as good as everyone thinks they are. I like the 49ers here.
Yeah, I'm going to sound crazy, or not crazy, but biased, but I'm taking the 49ers here as well. I just think, anytime it's hard for me to give a loss away to the 49ers or to the 49ers when they're at home. So I'm going 49ers there as well. All right, we're up against the clock, so let's speed this up a little bit. So we got Seattle, 49ers going into Seattle for their second meeting of the season.
Yeah, I'll take the 49ers here all day.
All right. Next one, we got the Commanders going into Levi Stadium, Washington Commanders.
I will take the 49ers at home as well.
All right. All right, next one, we got the 49ers against, used to be an interstate rivalry, but we got the 49ers going into Las Vegas.
Ooh, give me Vegas in this one. At home, I'll take Vegas.
Okay, all right. And we got the last one. We got the Cardinals going into Levi Stadium.
I'm going to stick with the home field thing, and I will take the 49ers at home against the Cardinals.
Okay. All right, Jamie C5. Look, just like you, man, just like your Cowboys, I have the 49ers going 13-4, man. I really do, man. I really do believe that they're a 13-4 team. I just think that as long as Trey Lance doesn't mess anything up and just be a little bit better than Jimmy Garoppolo, this team can go 13-4 for sure. But what do you have?
I had them at 12-5, so we're not far off. I had them at 12-5, so we're pretty much right there.
All right, great stuff there. Great stuff. All right, ladies, y'all know we're a little bit over time here, Jay. So we'll start with we'll do the bench cut real quick. Start bench cut, excuse me. These are father-son duos in their respective sports. So the best of the two in their respective sports. We got Archie Griffin and Peyton Manning. We got Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. And we got Dale Curry and Steph Curry. Start bench cut in their respective.
Who was the first one, K-Walk? Who was the first one?
I'm sorry, Archie Manning and Peyton Manning.
Okay. Ooh. It's hard to not pick Arch and Peyton. I'm going to start Archie and Peyton. I got to bench the Griffies, man. I hate to cut. I mean, Steph has been so great. I hate to cut them, but I got to cut Steph and Dell, man. That's tough, K-Walk.
I can't be mad at you.
Rough.
Yeah, I can't be mad at you. Yeah, I can't be mad at you. So I'm gonna start Dale and Steph. I'm gonna cut the Griff. I'm gonna bench the Mannings, and I'm gonna cut the Griffies as well.
Oh,
all right. Next one.
Okay.
Since we talked a little bit of Yankees here, man. We got three Yankees who I think is arguably the best, not just at wearing a Yankee uniform, but overall. We got Derek Jeter. We got Don Mattingly, and we got Mariano Rivera. Start bench cut.
I think you have to start Jeter. I mean, he's Mr. Yankee. He's the captain. I mean, how do you not start Jeter? I got to bench Rivera. I don't know if that's like Yankee slander or anything. I'm not even that familiar with Don Mattingly, so I got to bench Rivera, and I got to cut Mattingly, man.
Yeah, that is tough. Well, that might be a little bit of blasphemy there, Jay, here in New York, if you're a Yankee fan. So with that being said, I'm gonna start Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly against Donnie Baseball. You have to go with him. Then, as the only player in the history of Major League Baseball to be voted into the Hall of Fame unanimously, I'm going to bench Mariano Rivera. And as hard as it's for me to
Ooh,
say it, I gotta cut Derek Jeter.
wow. Hey, you're
Yeah.
more plugged in than I am, so I can't argue it. I can't argue it.
All right. Last one here, Jay, before we end it up, is we got return men of all time, the greatest return men in the NFL of all time. These not are the greatest, Jay. These are just the three that I chose because I know
Okay.
some of them were just obvious. All right. So we got Mr. Eric Metcalf from the Cleveland Browns. I know you recall
Oh
him.
yeah.
And now we got Dante Hall from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
These guys pretty much played when we were still kind of playing, if you will. And the last one is another Chief, Tamarick Vanover, Tamarick Vanover.
Yeah, I
call him
remember
Tamarick
him
Vanover.
too, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember these guys. I'm starting Metcalf, man. I'm starting Eric
Okay.
Metcalf. I just have good memories of
Ooh,
him.
yes.
Dante Hall and Vanover. That's tough. I think I'm gonna bench Vanover, K-Walk, and cut Dante Hall, but that's rough,
Okay.
man. That's a rough one. That's a rough one.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm going to definitely start Eric Metcalf. You know, I wore 21 when I was in junior college. I wore 21 because of him and Desmond Howard at the same time. So I'm going to
Yeah.
start him. I'm going to start Eric Metcalf. I'm right along with you. I like Tamarick Vanover, man. I like what he was a big guy that was able to
Yes.
return those kicks. Great dude, a great player at Florida State as well. And I'm going to cut Dante Hall. So great stuff there. I know we went over there a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, but I feel like it was a great one nonetheless. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I always want to leave you guys with something. Today, I'll leave you with this, is that today I will do what others won't. So tomorrow I can accomplish what others can't. So for Jason Collins, I am Kevin Walker on the Walkthrough Radio Show right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. God willing, we'll talk to you next week.